Welcome back to the second segment of the show. Today we meet one of the distinguished Egyptian youth, Dina Tantawi, an engineer. She's the co-founder of the NASA space app Cairo that started in 2012. Egypt hosted the competition for the first time in 2015 in Egypt, and she's going to tell us more about it and more about herself. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and what did you study and what made you want to be the founder of or co-founder of the NASA Space App?
Okay, so I started studying engineering, computer engineering, and I graduated into 2011, and I was pursuing my master degree. When I met Minna Hamza, she is the main founder, so I am the second person, but she is the first person.
Yes.
And she was very passionate about joining competition and doing such of things. So she told me, why don't we host it in Egypt? So because when we wanted to join the competition, we have to join virtually, but no one else will be like aiding us. So we check out the conditions, what needs to be done to be hosting it in Egypt. And we started in 2015 by hosting it for the first time. And we get very surprised by the number of Egyptian youths that are passionate about space technology and apps in general. And we were the largest location in Cairo, and it was fascinating even to the global organizing.
Yes.
And in the second year, they sent to us one of the global organizers because they didn't believe the numbers or the enthusiasm. So it was
a big success.
The start was because of Minna's Hamza ambition about space.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us a bit about what NASA Space App is?
So NASA Space Apps is a challenge, is a hackathon. Hackathon is a word coming from hacker and marathon, because we need these computer and tech skills, and in the same time we need the speed and endurance that people put in such a marathon, because it's like 2 days, 48 hours, where you have to work on a complete prototype from A to Z in those 2 days, nothing else, trying to solve one of the challenges that's facing us. And because it is called NASA and space, people think that challenges are about going to space, but this is part of the competition. But the competition has a much wider scope, because NASA has a lot of resources, images, sensors, and so forth. So they are providing an enormous amount of data that we can use and use it like for solving global warming or solving pandemic and so forth. So part of the competition is how to use those resources. So they have abundance of it. So we solve problems related to our lives, and also we solve problems to space. All of this using technology and artistics and even some physics and science. So it's a combination of multi-disciplines in one.
So you're saying that it's not just engineers or computer scientists that go into this sort of competition. You can get even people working in the medical field, for instance, if you're going to look at...
Yes. Actually, we have, I remember someone in 2015, he was from pharmacy.
Yes.
And actually, he's building his own space interest and his group, because when astronauts go to space, they have different conditions. They need to take care of their health, they need to recycle everything. So they are very critical to health issues. So everything is involved in going into space.
Can you tell us a bit about the benefits of taking part in this marathon?
Okay, so from our perspective as a volunteers, we see it as a three-level benefit. The first level is what we can give back to our community. So we like technology and we are engineers, how we can help others to get interested and get benefit. And actually we have a large portion of the participants are actually students. We try to provide something like a boot camp for giving them some trainings or videos and encourage them to get involved, to get networking. So on the local level, we try to give back to our community. And on the global level, we give a very beautiful reputation. You know, we have been taking #1 in numbers. We are the largest site.
Yes.
And we started as one site in 2015. Today we are 13 sites in Egypt. So on the global level, actually we are all facing the problems that NASA is putting for us to solve, like global warming, and even they are talking about COVID. So being part of this solution globally is something very important for us.
I mean, is this part of the achievements? I mean, obviously ranking #1 in terms of numbers is a big thing, it's an achievement. But what other achievements did the NASA Space Camp in Cairo achieve?
Okay, so in 2018, we managed to get our winners to join space camps in USA, where they can have a tour about the history of rockets and things like that. And the next year, or I think the same, I think 2019, I think, we get to be like, you know, the shortlisted for the winners. We didn't manage to be the first winner yet globally, but we managed to be shortlisted, yes.
What about this year's competition? What are the challenges you faced, and what benefits do you see it gives the youth that take part in these competitions?
Okay, so this year and the past year actually is virtual because of the pandemic. So we are proud of people who try to get engaged those circumstances, but it's really amazing to see all this enthusiasm and even people using more technology because they are forced to use it. So being virtual is a challenge, but in the same time it gives us other benefits, like we managed to get like mentors from abroad, or maybe scientists, or to be in communication all the time with them. So people get more used to using online, so it's no longer just Cairo. We are, because it's a global competition, so every site works in the same 2 days. So it's globally where we can all get networking and people get used to it. So although it's a bit challenging, and you know how to keep people motivated and working, because 48 hours are too much.
Time,
It's short and long because you have to work the 48 hours and you have to keep them motivated and not to lose hope. But in the same time, they have to be awake for the 48 hours and finish their models. So it's kind of challenging to do that abroad. But thanks to our sponsors, the Embassy and another platform, Popular, they made like a virtual platform where you can join in, and it's like a small person with your hat and feel like you are in the same place.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, since taking office, has focused on the youth in general and tried to empower them in many ways. How do you see this in the future for youth, especially when it comes to the NASA space apps, or you know, technology and trying to find solutions, like, you know?
Actually, it's very amazing what they are doing, because now you see more and more that people in charge are actually like maybe they're in their 30s, or maybe some people are like 20s. So you see a different way of thinking. So we are no longer just let those kids be silent. Even this year we tried to talk to Egyptian Space Agency, and they are one of our partners. So they give us more space because he trusted in us, and they are trying to do the same. So they are trusting in more that we are not just the kids, we can do something. So it's pretty much amazing.
So do you think that this will be helpful to have resources attached to the Egyptian Space Agency?
Yes, definitely, because I believe the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts. So cooperating different agencies and sponsors and participants, people of different backgrounds, everyone sees the problem from his way, so everyone can contribute differently, so you can find a solution that's not just beneficial on NASA level, but maybe it's customized to us. Why can't we do something for Egypt that is different?
That's very true. And this is actually very, very interesting, and I do hope that, you know, the NASA Space App keeps going, and that more youth participate in this. But unfortunately, we're running out of time. So thank you so much, Dina
Thank
Tontoy, an
you.
engineer. Thank you so much. And the co-founder of the NASA Space Apps for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for the host.
And we'll hopefully have you again at Nile TV for next year's competition and find out more. Hopefully
Yeah.
no pandemic and we'll be virtual.
Yeah, we hope that you come and see the people. It's
Yes, it'd be
very,
great.
very, very inspirational, actually.
It would be great.
Yeah, thank you.
This brings us to the end of this episode of Cairo Local Time, but stay tuned for more updates on Nile TV.